This is Algebra Lesson 7.3, Inequalities in One Variable. An inequality is a statement in which one quantity is less than or greater than another. You write inequalities using these symbols. A less than, a greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So hopefully you've seen those symbols. We already kind of should know what they look like. When we add the little line underneath, it means less than, but also possibly equal to. Or greater than, but also possibly equal to. So here we have some English phrases, and we're going to translate them into mathematical inequalities. Okay, so at least really means greater than or equal to. So if I have at least 6 glasses, the number of glasses is greater than or equal to 6. Below really means less than. So if the temperature is less than 40, that's how we would write that. Fewer than also means less than. So if the number of calories is less than 20, that's how we would write that. At most means less than or equal to. So the price was less than or equal to 10, at most 10. And between is a double-sided inequality. So 35 is less than the temperature, which is less than 120. If you kind of want to think about this one a little differently, between means t is going to be bigger than 35, but t is going to be smaller than 120. And so we just take this one and flip it around, and then we can merge the t's together, and that's why it looks like the one in the box. Okay, I have a couple examples. The first one says graph each inequality on a number line. T is greater than 5. I will circle the number 5, and I will shade this number line greater than the number 5. Letter B says x is less than or equal to negative 1. So I will circle the negative 1. That shows me, and then I will shade less than. But to show that this one is actually different from the previous one, a less than or a greater than is an open circle. When I add that or equal to, that is a closed circle. That circle gets shaded in. The next one here, I think my typing got a little messed up, but it should be negative 2 is less than or equal to x is less than 4. So I will put a negative 2, and that is an or equal to, so I will color that in. I will circle the positive 4. That is just a less than. It doesn't have an or equal to it, so I'll leave that an open circle. And this is between. X is actually greater than negative 2, but it's also less than 4. So I shade this region in on my number line. My last example says, Aaron says, I got less than 5 hours of sleep last night. I usually sleep 8 hours, but I lost 0.25 hours every time the dog barked. Find the number of times the dog barked. So every time Aaron's dog barked, she woke up, she lost a quarter hour of sleep. If she got less than 8 hours of sleep, less than 5 hours of sleep, she normally gets 8, but she lost a quarter hour every time the dog barked. We can now solve this inequality the same way we would solve an equality. I am going to start by subtracting 8 from both sides of the inequality. My negative quarter hours drops down. My less than is still a less than. 5 minus 8 is now negative 3. Now I'm going to divide both sides of my inequality by my coefficient on my x. Those cancel out. My x drops down, and this is where it gets funky. Whenever you divide by a negative number, your inequality sign flips. And then negative 3 divided by negative 0.25 is 12. So actually the dog barked more than 12 times. So when solving an inequality, your standard steps are still standard. You're going to add, subtract both sides, divide both sides. The only difference is if you divide by a negative, the inequality sign flips. Okay, that is it for the notes. Good luck on the exercises, and please let me know if you have any questions.